Hey you guys, it's been a couple weeks. Sorry about that. So today's story time I wanted to talk about it's kind of weird and scary at the same time, but I have to get very vulnerable to tell you everything in detail. Maybe I'll just grab my little pet bunny so y'all can kind of see the bunny, and maybe it'll help me get through it without crying or getting emotional. So 1 second. Come here, honey bunch. Oh, look at this baby bunny. Oh, look at my baby bunny. Let me give y'all up close. This is one of my bunnies. He is 6 weeks old. Oh, so adorable. So anyways, so let's just go ahead and talk about the situation. So a couple years ago, might have been 9 years ago or so, I was married. I got married to the love of my life, a high school sweetheart. And I remember that he cheated on me, right? The story about that was just completely insane. Like I remember literally, one day just like I saw something in his phone. It said I shaved today. And, I didn't really think nothing of it. I was like, why would a guy text, him saying that. But anyway, so then I remember, no. It was a random girl that texted, and I think she might have said hey or something like that. Sorry, I'm getting it confused. So then I went to the movies with him, and I remember his phone lit up. He went to the restroom, and it said, I shaved today. And I looked it up, looked at the name and stuff, looked at the number. I called the girl. She's been with my husband. So anyways, so so that was really hard for me, right? And I guess like I carried like bitterness about it. I didn't even know. So anyway, so that's a whole other story for a whole other time. But what ended up happening was I went to a church, like, when we were going through our divorce. No, actually, no, I was still with him, actually. I was still with him. We were still married. We were still together. We still lived together. I did have a lot of resentment towards him, though, because when I went through his phone, it was like 20 girls that he was cheating on me with. It wasn't just one or two girls. It was a whole bunch of people. And I remember being, like, so devastated, so sad. And I, didn't know what to do, but I wanted to trust him. I wanted to believe him. And just a random side note, I'm gonna leave a link for the video about these bunnies. You're gonna see them from day one all the way on, and then there's gonna be a more extensive video on my actual channel, so stay tuned to that. So, a long story short, so what ended up happening was, I went to a church one time. One of my homegirls invited me to, right? And I'm just sitting in the audience, just like nervous as all, because I didn't know anybody at the church. I didn't have a daughter at the time. I think I was pregnant at the time, actually. I didn't have a daughter at the time. And I sat in the church and I was just listening to the preacher. And I was really in tune to what she was saying, because she was saying some pretty cool things, right? And she points at me and says, "You come up here." And I'm like, what? I've never, first of all, I was already really, really nervous. I've never been asked to go up to the front. Oh my God, to go up to the front in a big church, right? Oh my God. So I remember getting up there. I'm like really nervous and stuff. And she's like telling my business. She goes, "Your husband cheated on you and you're holding resentment and this, and that. And God said you need to let that go. You need to, whatever." And she didn't say husband. She said a relationship that you were in. The guy cheated on you and you found out about it and you're holding on to a whole bunch of resentment and hate and everything, right? And so I was like, oh my God, And it caused me to break down, because it was like, that was something I didn't even tell my own mom. That my ex-husband cheated on me. And so I broke down. I really broke down. I was like crying in the church in front of everyone. I was like bawling, crying, because they all knew that he cheated on me. They all knew my story. And I don't even understand how she even knew my story. So that part was kind of scary to me, but it was also good in a way, because it was like, oh God, like after the whole initial shock of it all, I spoke to my friend about it, who introduced me to the church, and she was just saying like kind of like that, she's intuitive and that she's able to see things on people and read people's energies, and she's very, very super intuitive. But for her to know details, I didn't even tell my friend that my ex-husband cheated on me. Oh my God, it's so scary. Like, just imagine sitting in the audience and a preacher pointing to you, making you come up and telling your whole life story, and how you have so much resentment towards him and how you need to let that go. And I can't say that I've let it go. It's been 8 years and I'm no longer with my ex-husband, and the things that people do sometimes affect you. Like, I can say that I forgive him and I wish no bad on him, you know what I mean? But I can say that I haven't completely let it go, because it goes into my other relationships. You know, like, every relationship from here on out has been, you know, me being insecure and being extra clingy and extra needy, and just things that I might have not been, and had that not happened to me, you know? But I think that everything does happen in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. I thought that was pretty crazy. You know, I never really believed that people just knew people's, you know, lives like that. But hey, I'm a winning testimony like that. That happened to me, and ever since then, I was so intrigued to go to the church, because I'm like, I want to know. I want her to point out me again and tell me, what do I need to do now? Like, what's going to get me through now? Like, you know, like, how do I live? Like, you know. Anyways, it was really, really scary. Even now I get goosebumps even thinking about how on point she was. But I do want to let you guys know is that everything that you go through, there's a season or reason. It's God. Everything you go through, there's a reason for it, I believe that there are certain seasons, and, you know, things happen for certain reasons, and sometimes we can't control those things. And I can say that 8 years later, after being, cheated on and stuff, 8 years later, now I'm working on me, and now I'm working on those insecurities that I had and the things that bothered me in that way. So I don't know, like, right now, like, I'm, writing down, like, things that I know are bad. Like, I know for a fact that I have insecurities, and sometimes I have to write down, like, my insecurities. Sometimes I have to call people and check and be like, oh my God, like, is this a legit insecurity? Is it not a legit insecurity? Like, now I'm really starting to work on me and work on those issues that relationship has caused. But what I want people to know is that you should definitely work on those things early on. Like, when things like that happen that are so devastating, things that you have to get through, start now working on them. You don't want to wait 8 years later and you missed a whole bunch of your life and time. And isn't he so precious? This is my favorite. My baby. So the mom actually had more babies. So we had this one and another one in the litter. And now she has 3 more on the way. So I'll actually show them to you. But I love bunnies, you guys. I really, really do. I never thought I'd gonna be a bunny person, but I went to the pet store and they told me this was the best, to get my daughter. And so now we have this little baby, the mom, and we have 3 little ones. And when I say get rid of, I make sure that they go to a wonderful home. Anyways, you guys, so like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any testimonies like that, like any stories anything that has happened to you that was like, what? Like, is this God speaking? Like, how does she know? Like, anything that's freaked you out like that completely freaked me out. And I guess, like, hey, maybe there is some type of divine intervention going on. Maybe there is some type of, all-knowing going on. Maybe some people do have those types of purposes. So anyways, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section your testimony or what situation you've been in. And I'll show you these little guys in just a second. Say hi. Hold on, let me see if I can grab him. Oh, this is how he looks. Sorry, it's kind of, bunnies are prey animals, so they're very skittish at times. But look at them. Mwah. All right, I'll show you all the babies.